welcome to this morning stretch. My name's Iz and I'm going to guide you through a quick session today. So we're going to begin breathing. Begin with an inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then begin to exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As we begin to inhale, I want you to feel the belly expand. Maybe place your hand on the belly, feeling the air go into the lungs, taking maximum inhalations and maximum exhalations. On the inhale, bring our gaze to the left. Bring our left hand back and behind us, plant it on the ground. Right hand goes onto that left knee. Twist the gaze all the way to the left. And then we'll switch it back round, all the way to the right. Right hand behind us, left hand on right knee. And we'll slowly bring it back to central. Big inhale here. And on the exhale, we're going to begin to turn our head in big circles all the way back. Ear to shoulder, chin to chest, ear to shoulder. Keep going round. I'm going round in a anti-clockwise motion. And then we'll switch. Going round, getting all those niggles out. Nice stretch here, just warming up the neck, warming up the shoulders. Preparing our body. Come back to central in our own time. Take a big inhale, big exhale. We'll make our way through to tabletop. We'll find our alignment, so hands and knees. We want hands stacked on top of elbows, on top of shoulders. Knees, hips width distance apart. Take an inhale, gaze comes up towards the sky. We're arching that back, glutes kick back. And as we exhale, we bring that chin to chest, pushing the hands and knees into the ground. This is our cat, and then we'll inhale, come back to cow. Exhale, come back to cat. So bringing that chin to chest, really protracting the shoulders, pushing down into the ground with the hands and knees. Inhale, bring it back to cow. Push those glutes back, really push those hands and knees into the ground. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, cow. And through the exhale, we'll come back to our tabletop. Inhale, prepare. Right hand comes out. Left leg comes up off the ground, kicking straight back and behind us. Pointing those left toes down towards the ground. Engaging the core, squeeze the glutes. Imagine someone's pulling those fingertips forward out in front of you and someone's pulling that heel back and behind you. So we'll make our way back through to tabletop. Take an inhale, prepare. Through the exhale, left hand comes up and out. Right leg comes back, kicking it back, stretching it. Engaging that core, try and slow down the breathing. We'll start to build a lot of heat in this position. Really pull that right heel back and behind you. Slowly make our way back into tabletop. Take an inhale here, slow the breathing. Through the exhale, we'll forwards fold. So walk the feet to meet the hands. And we're going to ragdoll, so relaxing down. I grab opposite wrists or opposite elbows if we're comfortable doing so, and we'll rock from left to right, nice and slowly. Have a slight bend at the knee here if it's comfortable, or straight-legged. It's just the warm-up. Going side to side. Getting a good hamstring stretch here. In our own time, come back to stillness. Maybe give a little bit of a pull towards the ground. Exhale, forwards fold. Inhale, arms come out wide up towards the sky. Maybe have the hands meet together at the top in extended mountain. Before we begin to fold, remember to hinge at the hip here. So that means shoulder blades and head are the last thing to come down and under. Inhale, halfway lift, straight back. Exhale, forwards fold. Bend the knees if necessary. Big exhale. Remember to hinge at that hip. Step it back to plank. Find your alignment here. So that means hands underneath elbows, underneath shoulders. Big inhale. Engage the core, engage the glutes. Kick the heels back and behind us. And try and make one straight long line. We'll stay here for a few breaths. If we need to at any point, we can modify by dropping our knees to the ground if it's comfortable for us. Slowly through the exhale, everything comes to the floor at the same time. That's chest, hips, knees. Inhale, cobra, peel the chest up off the mat, squeeze the shoulder blades back and behind us. Exhale, make our way into downwards facing dog. So that's hips up and back towards the sky. We want a nice straight long back here, so think about pushing into the ground with the first finger and thumb. If we want to modify here, we can always go for three-legged dog. Engage the core, kick that heel back and behind us. Exhale. If we've gone for three-legged dog, we can opt to bring the right knee to the nose, or if we're in downwards dog, we can help get that foot up in between the hands. So that means using our hand to help guide us. Big exhale. For the inhale, we come up to high crescent lunge. So I've got my back foot on my left toes, left heel off the ground. Cactus arms, engage the core here, engage the back left glute. In cactus arms, I have my arms at 90 degrees, fingertips are spread wide. And I'm trying to push those elbows towards the front of the mat. Slight back bend here, gaze comes up ever so slightly, squeezing those shoulder blades back and behind us. I want to make sure my right knee isn't going over my toes, so I'll adjust accordingly. Altering that back left leg here. My left leg is now pointing the long edge of the mat. My right leg is pointing the short edge of the mat towards the top. I'm going to slowly come to the side, lengthening the spine first. For triangle, so I have my right fingertips pointing down towards the ground. My right hand could also be at my knee or on my thigh. I can also bend that right knee to help me get those fingertips down towards the ground. Left hand's going up, stretching up. Imagine someone's pulling you up by your fingertips by your left hand, and someone's pulling you down towards the ground with that right hand. Maybe bring the gaze up towards the left. As we exhale, left hand comes down to meet the right. Bend that right knee. Make sure the knee doesn't go over the toes. I'm going to bend that right knee. Open the hips ever so slightly. My right hand now goes on the inside of that right foot. Left hand goes up towards the sky. Big stretch here. This is our extended side angle. Think about squeezing those shoulder blades back and behind us. Left hand comes down towards the ground. Twist the hips. That left knee comes down to the ground. I'm moving my right foot towards the top right side of the mat. This is our lizard pose, so we can drop the elbows down if it's comfortable, or we can stay up on our hands. This is a nice deep stretch for the hips. If we want to modify this, we can bring that right knee out to the side. Right foot comes onto the outer edge. We can also modify this by lifting the left knee up off the ground to straighten that back left leg if we're feeling comfortable. Through the next exhale, we're going to straighten that right leg, flex the toes up towards the sky. And we're going to forwards fold. This is our half splits. We can bring our bum back towards our left heel if it's comfortable to do so. I don't feel that comfortable doing this with my knee, so I stay here. I'm pulling my chest towards that right knee. I'm not hunching my shoulders over or trying to get my knee to my nose. Flexing those right toes up towards the sky. I'm going to bend that right knee. Hands on my hips. I'm going to lock that right hip back to square off the hips so they're not splaying out towards a diagonal. Both of my hips are facing the short edge of the mat, the top of the mat. So I'm getting a really good stretch there. Bring that right leg back. Left leg comes forwards to meet the right. Forwards fold. Remember to hinge at the hip here. Grab opposite elbows and we'll ragdoll again for a little bit. You might notice your breathing's a little bit faster at this point. So feel free to slow it down, show control. As you're stretching out those hamstrings. Maybe one side of the body feels warmer than the other. We're going to balance this out now. So take a big inhale, extended mountain, arms to the side, up towards the sky. Lift the kneecaps, engage the glutes, engage the core. Really pull those fingertips up towards the sky to extend the spine. As we exhale, we dive. Hinging at the hip, shoulders and head are the last thing to come down and under for forwards fold. Inhale, halfway lift, straighten the spine, shoulder blades back. Exhale, forwards fold, down and under. Big exhale. Inhale, take it back to plank. Kick those heels back. Engage the glutes. Think about pushing down into the fingertips, not just the palms of the hands. We don't want to dump all the weight into the wrists. We want to make sure we're using all those muscles. As we exhale, everything comes to the mat at the same time. Inhale, we'll come back into Cobra. So that's peeling the chest off the mat, squeezing it towards that front of the mat, the front of the room. Squeezing those shoulder blades back and behind us. Squeeze those glutes. Protect that lower spine. As we come down, we exhale into downwards facing dog. Hips go up and back. Straightening that back, straightening the spine. This is all about lengthening the spine. So we don't have to have straight legs here. We can bend the legs as long as we are ensuring that we get a nice straight back. If you want to modify here, we can kick up that left leg for three-legged dog. As we exhale, bring that left knee to nose if it's comfortable and plant that left foot in between the hands, or we can come from downwards dog here and we can help shift that left foot up towards the top of the mat like so. On the inhale, we come up for high crescent lunge. So I've got that right heel up off the ground and back on my toes on that right foot. Left foot planted firmly in the ground. My left knee isn't going over those left toes. I've got a slight back bend here and I'm engaging that right glute. So we don't want any forwards bending, over bending. If this is the case, I'll just shift my foot up the mat more or towards the left more. I've got cactus arms here, so my elbows are at 90 degrees. And I've got my fingertips spread nice and wide. I'm really squeezing those shoulder blades back and behind. Concentrating on slowing my breathing down. Feeling the heat building up in the legs. Really squeezing those leg muscles. As we exhale, I bring my hands down. I readjust, so my right foot is now facing the long edge of the mat. And my left foot is facing the top of the mat. I lengthen the spine before I begin to bend to the side for triangle. And I bring those left fingertips down towards the ground. Here I have straight left leg. We can bend that if it's more comfortable for us to do so, or we can incorporate a block here. I'm stretching my right fingertips up towards the sky, squeezing my shoulder blades back and behind. As I exhale, I'll slowly begin to bring the right hand down to meet my left. Plant them around that left foot. Planting them, moving that left foot out to the side. I now have both of my hands on the inside of my left foot. I have my right hand up towards the sky for our extended side angle. We can adjust the foot in here as necessary, or we can come up so we have our left elbow on our left thigh. I drop my right knee down towards the ground. I'm moving my left foot out towards the top left side of the mat. Planting my hands on the ground. Getting comfortable in our lizard pose. I play with this a little bit, putting the elbows down, or we can come up onto our hands. If we would like to modify, we can bring that left knee out towards the side. This brings our left foot out onto its left side. So our big left toe is up off the mat. This just opens the hips and offers a different type of stretch. Bringing my left foot back in so it's more central. Shifting my left toes up towards me. Left foot comes forward a little bit as I come back for my half splits on the opposite side. And now I'm thinking about pulling my chest towards my knee. I'm not hunching my shoulders. I'm not hunching my head down. I'm thinking about pulling the chest down towards to get a deep hamstring stretch here. Now notice I don't come all the way down onto my right heel, but you can do if this is comfortable. You could have that right knee at 90 degrees if it was comfortable for you today. Put my hands on my hips, find a 90-degree angle within that left leg. Now begin to shift the hips down towards the ground, getting a deep stretch here. Take an inhale. If that left knee is going over the toes, feel free to move that left foot more forwards. Through the exhale, we'll make our way back into tabletop. We'll take an inhaling cow, exhaling cat. So that's chin to chest, really curving that spine. Inhale cow, glutes are pushed back and behind us, pushing down into the ground with the knees and the hands. Exhale cat. Squeeze and arch that spine, squeeze those glutes. Inhale cow. As we inhale, we feel the belly expand, inhaling as much as we can. Now making our way back through tabletop so our legs are out in front of us. And we'll slowly come onto our back, one vertebra at a time, showing control. Getting nice and comfortable here. We can have hands on our tummies or by our sides. I invite you to allow the feet to fall to the sides, opening our hips. And have our hands down by our sides, palms facing the sky. Take an inhale here for the count of 6. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And as we exhale, we continue to do so at the same pace. 3, 4, 5, 6. As we inhale, think about expanding the belly, feeling the belly rise as much as possible, squeezing in as much air into those lungs as we can. And when we exhale, we feel the belly contract. As the belly sinks, we squeeze as much air out of this exhalation as we possibly can. Maybe pause at the bottom of the exhale for a second or two. Then slowly begin to inhale again, repeating the process. Slowly begin to bring awareness back into the body, moving from the toes to the ankles, the knees, the glutes, the tummy, the fingertips and elbows, the shoulders. Then we'll make our way into a fetal position. So on one side, we use our hands to slowly help us get up. When we return to a cross-legged seated position, I invite you to take a big inhale, stretch the arms out wide like extended mountain, up towards the sky. Have the hands meet at prayer at the top. Through the exhale, bring the hands down, past the eyes, the nose, the mouth, and have the thumbs meet at the heart, pushing into the chest. And I invite you here to take a moment to think about something that makes you very happy, something that you're grateful for today. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to see more, please let me know in the comments, or if you'd like me to target a specific area, just let me know. Thank you.